What's up, folks, and welcome back to the channel. Every once in a while out kayak fishing, particularly when you're out there for a couple of days in a row, you need a little bit of extra power. We're going to take a look at a portable power station today. This is the Marbero 200 watt portable power station. It's got two AC outlets, one grounded, one not, 4 USB-A ports, one USB-C port, and a 12-volt DC port. It's also got LED lights. One there, one there. The light on the end has several steps: low, medium, high, SOS. And the top one has a low and a high. So you might be thinking, this is pretty small for a power station, and I would agree with you. So let's give it a simple test. We're going to be charging my Anker 30,000 milliamp hour power brick. That's it. Pretty simple test. Let's get on to it, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this. All right, I have no idea how long this is going to take, or if that thing's even going to be able to do it. So while we let that setup go, I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So the battery claims to be 200 watt. It also claims to have the capacity of 148 watt hours. Further into its specifications, it says that it is 40,000 milliamp hour, which converts to 40 amp hour. And that particular spec can be pretty deceptive. So I ran out of daylight while I was filming that last night. I was able to get my Anker 30,000 milliamp hour power brick charged 2.5 times. I've got 2 of these, and basically what I did is I was doing the time lapse, which didn't really work out because it took too long and got too dark. But as I was charging one, I was using the other to power the camera that was showing the time lapse. It's like a perpetual use type scenario. At any rate, 2.5 times. Now this guy I know is able to charge my phone about 5 times, or it'll keep my laptop going pretty much all night, like a full 6 to 8 hour laptop session. This didn't do so well. When plugged into the AC outlet, the laptop went about 4.5 hours. So there's something not quite right in the specs of this thing. For instance, so this guy claims 148 watt hours, a conversion to amp hours, which is what most of us are used to. For instance, 12 volt, 10 amp hour battery here. They like to use watt hours to kind of conceal what the actual amp hour rating is, because there's a formula. Amp hours equals watt hours divided by voltage. And the 40,000 milliamp hours that this claims is at 3.7 volts. So this guy should technically be less of a battery, but it's not. Look, it even says 128 watt hour. They're not concealing anything on this battery here. You know exactly what you're getting. This, I'm not going to call it fuzzy math, but it is a little bit deceptive. At any rate, the conclusion that I come to is this, at the end of the day, 148 watt hour, produces less energy than this, which is 128 watt hour. It's also 10 amp hours at 12 volts, 40 amp hours at 3.7. They should technically be equivalent, but they're not. This does more charging than this. Also, I found that the USB port output isn't very high. A straight USB-C cable, if plugged into 110, this guy takes about 3 hours to charge. It took about 5 with this guy. So the output of the USB-C is low. So what is my impression? Is this guy worth it? Absolutely not. I can think of 100 different ways to charge your phone 5 times that are a heck of a lot cheaper. For instance, this Anker power brick, that's A-N-K-E-R power brick, I can trust these things. I can trust their specs. They're a very respectable company. 30,000 milliamp hour at 3.7 volts. So this should technically be just a little less powerful than this guy. And there you have it. This is kind of a lesson. This thing retails for about 150 bucks. You can usually find it on Amazon for about $130. My battery pack here, battery, box, electrical, and a 12 volt to USB converter, 60 bucks, 70 bucks. And this does much more than this. The only thing that this is missing would be 110 volt. So, hey, how you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
There's a good boy. You didn't even bark, man. That's a cool boy. He didn't even bark at you. Yeah. Yeah, he's a cool pup, man, especially when he's on his own. His sister eggs him on. Yeah. Cool boy. Have a good day, man. Sorry about that. I got distracted there. Amazon showed up. More stuff to review. At any rate, getting back to this, portable power stations are a great idea, but you can't skimp on them. If you're going to buy something that you want to use out in the field, like at a campsite, recharging, you know, things like this, your laptop, your phones, all that stuff, you really got to get into Jackery level type stuff. 150 bucks isn't going to cut it. You really have to spend about 500 bucks to get into a decent portable power station. If you don't need it for much, these are available. I just think that at the price point that these guys are at, they're just too expensive. In an upcoming video, I'm actually going to be building a battery box. Nothing sophisticated. It's not going to have 110 volts, but it will have USB, and it will have USB-C, which is perfect for pretty much everything that I use, except for the actual battery box itself. And when I need to charge that, I just hook it up to the Jeep with an inverter, and we're good. That's going to do it for this one, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next.